Welcome to episode 65 of Both Down, the number one Blood Bowl podcast.
In the kingdom of Karazakrak, or Everpeak, for us people who cannot speak Dwarven.
Okay, fair enough. That's Scott Prime. I'm Steve Kilowoggy.
Howdy, folks.
How's it going, Scott?
It is going very well. How are you doing, Steve?
I'm doing okay. Why are we talking like this now?
I don't know.
Okay,
It's just our thing.
it is.
So you excited about some Blood Bowl?
In general, or what?
I don't know. This is a Blood Bowl podcast.
We're doing a Blood Bowl podcast. We played 2 games last night on the new pitch, one on each side.
We did. We broke out. What is that called? Just the Dwarf Skaven pitch, or does it have a name?
Dwarfs gave an underground pitch or something like that?
Right. It has underground kickoff rules on the back of the box.
Which we did not use.
Well, we can't because we were playing our league, our store league.
Can.
We could? You wouldn't have said nothing?
The league is based, as long as you both agree, I don't care. That's the main thing.
Ooh, I'm going to find the right guy and just say, like, let's just keep scoring touchdowns.
But that's not what I mean. You have something like that. You know,
You're
board
saying
rules,
if
cards,
Okay.
things we don't normally allow. If you want to use them and both people agree, I don't see a real issue.
Because it's not really a playoff game, and our leagues are just meet up and play to build up for the playoffs.
And even if it was a playoff game, the only thing you're going to do is harm yourself if there's any disadvantage to it.
Okay. So we did not play with the kickoff rules for the underground
No.
field. I was talking to one of our league guys who has the field, and when he talked to me about it, he mentioned that there was only rules for the Skaven side, which I thought was odd.
Well, the
But-
rules are written for Skaven.
Right, but really, that kickoff table, after further review of looking at it, it is made for the underground pitches. So the dwarf pitch is also like an underground pitch.
No. I mean,
No?
I understand what you're saying, but it is specifically catering to the Skaven. Because when you hit, you go into the ground and a geyser can come up and knock you around.
I get that.
That's not
but
going to
if
happen on the Dwarven side.
But if you look at the box, it says to be used with
It
the
says it can
underground
be,
pitches.
yeah.
So, therefore,
So I
it can
guess,
be used.
sure.
It just depends how fluffy you want to get. If you want to think
That's true.
that this dwarven pitch is in a mountain, and why it looks pristine and stuff, that mountains could erupt or have problems.
Mm-hmm. What was the article on Warhammer about Jonathan Taylor York's team?
There is a great article about like the fluffiness of, he has a team, and I cannot remember the name, but their mascot is the Wanderers because they like travel the world and they don't have like a home base.
So that's because the goblins and the Skaven started coming into the stadiums to sell stuff and took over.
Right.
So they went into disrepair. So yeah, you could say that it's an older disrepair stadium. And cracks are coming up or something. But
Speaking of which, I'll try to link that article for fluff-wise so people can go read. And if you did not catch it, if you're not on Facebook, because I know there's a billion Blood Bowl Facebook groups, and if you're in any of those, that's all you see in your Facebook feed. So I'll try to put a link in the podcast notes so you can go read this cool thing about all this fluffiness. With
I'm
this
pretty
dwarf
sure
game.
unless you're complaining about something, you're not going to see the new stuff. Because it's just people keep replying on stuff that they complain about. So those keep getting recycled to the top of my feed all the time.
I got you. So what else you want to talk about?
We are...
Let's talk about our games.
Oh, the games.
Yeah, we had a couple of league games. Me and Steve finally played each other.
We did Stunty on Stunty.
We did
My Emerson Biggin Ogre team versus your...
Blood Moon Lunatics, my goblins. And we played on the dwarf side, which was kind of weird. That's the side we chose.
I like the dwarf side.
It's very clear.
Yeah.
It looks clean.
And it's easy to distinguish what's going on.
Right.
This new pitch, at least it comes with... it sounds like a segment, but... Anyways, it comes with dugouts this time. So that's nice. Mm-hmm. One thing I thought was weird is the Skaven side incorporates all the warpstone in the
ornamentation.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But the dwarf team, which is covered in jewels, their stadium doesn't have any jewels.
That's because it's in their little strongholds or whatever. They're keeping it away from people.
Yeah, I guess. But
Maybe, I don't know.
just kind of odd.
One thing I did notice playing, especially the goblins versus the ogre matchup, we all know, the field is so much bigger now. I mean, it's not significantly bigger, but it does take up more table space.
That's for sure.
So if you set up a dice tower and you actually use the big dugouts, that's a lot of room. So
It took up our whole table pretty much.
what I was telling Steve is, all the guys over there in the Pacific Northwest are going to get really excited. I was like, if they were going to make this bigger, why didn't they just go full 40 millimeter? That way, all the ogres could fit in a space very cleanly.
Because I was playing with my ogres, which are on, I guess, the 40 millimeter bases.
They're 40 millimeter round bases.
Right. So they're
And I had my
still a little bit
trolls.
too big on the 34. It's not insane, but yes.
It's better than the old field.
Yeah.
When they're on the pitch, but there was still crowding problems when you had those guys clustered up. And at this point, if they were going to go a little bit bigger, it already messes up how we run tournaments and stuff, because now you got to play sideline to sideline. Why didn't they just go to 40 millimeter? I don't know. Now that might have messed up the tables.
I was going to say that might not fit sideways on the table.
That's something to look at.
Because
Maybe
use the 40 millimeter. When you use the 40 millimeter pitch, we had to put that covering on top, didn't we?
I don't remember that, but that could be the issue,
Okay.
Steve. I mean, I didn't think about that until just now. But
Yeah.
it still doesn't fix the crowding problem. It makes it a little bit better, but you know what I mean.
I gotcha.
So yes, Steve beat up my troll. He knocked one out for
I killed
cat,
the other one.
and then he killed the other one, who luckily regenerated. And I forgot I had an apothecary on the first one, so I played the whole game with one troll. I won 2-1.
I think so.
Yeah, Steve threw a goblin down the field, or a snotling down the field, and
For
my
a
goblins couldn't pick it up. And Steve eventually dodged through some tackle zones and picked up in a tackle zone to score.
You actually knocked me down. I went for the ball and failed, and it bounced to your guy who was in the end zone, who missed it, and it went behind him.
Yeah, the goblins rolled a lot of 2s to pick up the ball. But we got the win, so we're pretty happy with that. Chainsaw guy didn't really do anything.
No.
Bomb guy didn't really do anything.
Yes, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, he took out 3 people.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, well, when you don't write that stuff down,
Yeah.
it's kind of like you don't remember the stuff as
I understand.
well.
Then we decided to flip the pitch, and
Yeah, so we did the Skaven side pitch, the Warp Stone, which that side is really awesome. Lots of details.
it is, but man, it's so hard to see the squares.
Did you see the goblin getting eaten by the rats? He was in my corner of the end zone.
No.
Okay.
I saw the human crawling out of the river.
Of the Warpstone
Yeah.
infested river. Infected, I guess, river or whatever.
Yeah.
Polluted.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a goblin and there's little rats all around him, like eating him.
Huh.
So
His name is Kenny.
Kenny?
South Park.
Oh,
Remember when he used
Kenny.
to die, he'd get taken away by the
Right,
rats?
right.
Okay.
Okay.
So then that game was my Chaos Pact, the Drakwald Demons.
And my Youthland United Unicorns.
Your Elf Union team.
My Elf Union team. Painted all in these bright rainbow colors. They're so awesome.
And so the first game, we used the block dice from Eurobowl that Jonas and them sent us.
Right, they have like little crosshairs for like the POWs, and they have little moose heads for skulls.
And then tracks for the push.
Tracks for the push and stuff like that. We also used
a lot of skulls and both downs on those.
Yes, there was. We also used these dice with a jester head on them. I don't know where I got them.
It's an orc skull with a jester hat.
So if you know where those dice came from, I must have picked them up from somebody at a tournament. I don't know where.
They got sent to us, and unfortunately we keep lousy notes on who sends us stuff.
Anyways, those dice were the balls. They rolled 5s and 6s almost every time.
I have 5 ogres. I failed my bonehead 3 times the whole game.
Yeah, that was really annoying.
The dice were
Those dice were incredible.
Yeah, they were not allowed anywhere
Steve's
else.
like, this is why we have tournament dice, because if not, I would take these dice everywhere we go and only play with these.
No doubt.
So the second game was Chaos Pact and what are they called now? Elf Union. And we played with the Australian dice.
Yeah. Australian
block dice.
Block dice and the rainbow ones.
Yeah.
They're very cool.
Yeah, they kind of fit my team theme. And Steve kicked my butt pretty much the whole game. Well, but I was still L's.
I only had 2 of his people knocked out. Not casualtied or anything.
Well,
I could have scored, but I decided to just wait.
You did the right thing.
And I was going to knock one of his guys out of bounds and hurt another one. And I could never casualty anybody. And then he wound up dodging like crazy, knocking the ball out of my Skaven's hands, and ended up, you won 2-1 on that one? 2-0.
2-0.
I never scored.
I still never scored in the first half. I've missed 2 passes.
Right.
Why don't you pass with L's? Because it doesn't work.
You were having crap luck.
But when I say you kicked my butt, I was picking my guys off the ground. Like, it felt like every block was a stun.
Yeah.
And I was picking guys up. And luckily, I was dumb elves that could get up and do dumb things.
I think I ended up getting 4 casualties on you, 3 or 4, and knocking out like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, it was rough.
It wasn't. Yeah, but it wasn't as much as it should have been.
No,
but as much as you were going down with 7 armor.
Yeah. Finally, though, I got enough money where I could buy a player to have a bench on my elf team. Yay!
Good. And I didn't lose anybody on my Chaos Pact team, so that helps.
Right, that's good times.
Yeah.
So our store league is going well.
It is. It's going really well.
We had a few guys not few. We had one guy who was really into Blood Bowl, and then he got bit by the magic bug, and now he's not playing in our league.
But he's still signed up for the tournament.
No, yeah, I talked to him actually the other day. Jeff said that he's coming to the tournament and still has fun with it, so that's great.
If you listen to the last Oklahoma Bowl podcast, we are now currently sitting at 33 people.
That means we are only 7 away. Actually, we're 8 away for breaking a record if everybody shows up. So let's break a record. Let's get more than 40.
Yeah, and honestly, that's not including us. That's not including Hess, 2 other people that we know about. So it's just...
Let's just get 10 more people and
if we had, the podcasts that are in Texas come, we'd break 40.
Yeah, where are the Reekland Network people?
Yeah.
That whole group. Didn't they bring 4 people last year?
I think so.
I'm sure they're still signing up. There's really no doubt.
But...
Kenny loves playing and all them, so I'm not worried about that.
But other than that, I think that's pretty much it.
No, that's not it. You're going to have to talk about... Steve is about to adventure into the land of fumble, playing on the NBFL.
Oh, that's very true. Yeah.
So, Steve, if you're not familiar with this is a league on Fumble where it's like you mimic the pro teams. Mm-hmm. So there's 32 teams just like the pros. They have a college league where after so many seasons, the players get up for draft. And then the draft is not necessarily... Somehow they figure out that a vampire player can turn into one of these 6 positionals.
It's like skilled, strength... unskilled and special.
Right. So they fit in these categories.
Right.
Like when I had my Nurgle team, I realized a lot of the guys I was drafting to become Pestigors were former vampires. Mm-hmm. So what happens is if that vampire had a strength +1 and sure hands, those are the skills you got. And to get that, you have to go build your team. So Steve's been doing builders basically, you get to play snotling teams to pound the snotlings into the ground to get star player points so you can convert your draftees into these new people.
I think it only took 4 or 5 games. It wasn't much.
It felt like 6 or 7, but it started snowballing really quick. But I still think we ought to do some type of charity event because you've helped me in the past with the Snotling team. I think we ought to go Snotling versus Snotling and like have for like a fundraiser or something for maybe for the website and then winner take all just for fun.
We actually do have some stuff coming up for the website. So we'll talk about that probably next time once they come in.
Sure. Okay. But no,
But we could do a charity for Fumble itself.
Ooh. Donate the money to them?
Yeah. They're trying to do a fundraiser right now to upgrade their server, I think.
Well, then maybe we will talk about that. My idea is that we take our Snotling teams. We both start a game up and we just pass through the turns. That way everybody's healed. And then we go into the game with a full 16-man roster of Snotlings.
We can just cut people and buy.
Yeah, whatever.
Probably. Do we want to set a date?
No. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
We'll see what we really want to do. I don't know if anybody would actually put money up or anything for a Fumble.
We can promote it. See if...
I'm kind of worried about our website first, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
The good news is, folks, is we are getting a lot of listeners. Since the resurgence of Blood Bowl, the new edition has come out. So we welcome all you new people. And we hope you continue to enjoy. And
as always, if you enjoy, let us know by Facebook or email or iTunes.
And we even want to hear the bad stuff. If there's something you don't like, tell us. There's been a few people that's done that, and we appreciate it. So
we've got to get better.
All right. So, long intro. What are we going to talk about today, Steve?
Well, I think this time we're going to talk about the new, what are they called, special play cards that just came out?
So, recently, yes, a couple weeks ago, the special play cards, and they're calling this the Hall of Fame pack. So, we are going to break down the Hall of Fame pack for its fluffiness.
There's two
more than anything.
Yeah, there's two separate decks, right?
Yeah, there's Heroic Feats, which we'll talk about in our first segment. And we're going to kind of make a little fun game show out of it. Steve's really looking forward to that. And then we are going to break down in the second segment the Magical Memorabilia.
And then our last segment, we're going to go over Wizard's Cup that we just ran.
Right. So then, of course, we have shout-outs. This should be a fun little podcast.
And that'll be it.
Yep.
Okay.
So let's take a break, and we will come back with some Hall of Fame pack cards of the Heroic Feats.
Both Down is brought to you by Wizards Asylum, your premier source for comics and games in Norman, Oklahoma. Check them out online at their new home, wizardsnorman.com.
All right, first up, we're going to start looking at these Heroic Feat cards. These can be found in the new Special Play Cards deck released by Games Workshop probably 3 weeks ago now.
Something like that, yeah.
I think they
Same time the pitch and the dwarf
and the dwarf dice and all that stuff came out. So we're going to take a look at these. Look at the fluff on them, see where they compare to the old cards that were in inducements that were, I guess, play tested.
Okay, so this deck that you have, some of them are old cards, some of them are new ones, right?
That is correct. And then
that's what you're going to be quizzing me on?
Sure. I'm going to read the new card.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say, is this an old card or a new card? And you're going to tell me that, and then we'll kind of compare it with the old one to see if it's exactly the same or not.
Okay. Should we keep score?
If you want to keep score, you're not going to get any right. So
I'll know if they are or not. I probably won't know the names, but
all right, you ready?
Sure.
This one's called Die Hard. Old card or new card? Should I read what it does?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can't just go off the name. New card, because no card is called that in the old deck.
Okay, that's correct.
Well, yeah, but
okay, this one says timing. Play at the start of any of your turns before any of your players takes an action. The effect, pick a player on your team that is stunned and turn them over so they are prone. Quote, that player just took a beating, but that's not going to stop him.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
it could come in handy situationally.
Yeah, it could. All right. inch perfect kick. The quote is, "Come along now, that's just showing off." Timing. Play after all players have been set up for a kickoff immediately after the ball is placed. The effect. Instead of scattering the ball normally, scatter it 3 times, 1 square each, using the throw-in template instead of the scatter template. Each time you can choose the template's facing. The ball will still bounce 3 times if it's not caught.
You'll still bounce 3 times if it's not caught? Or just once?
It says the ball will still bounce 3 times if it's not caught.
What?
That's what it says.
Okay, that is wrong.
Well, I'm just reading what it says.
But I'm right, though. That's wrong. Because if it's not count, it just scatters once. What was it saying?
I
Read it again. Sorry.
Instead of scattering the ball normally,
Okay.
scatter it 3 times, 1 square each, using the throw-in template instead of the scatter template. Each time you choose the template's facing, the ball will still bounce 3 times if it's not caught.
Oh, okay. This is worded funny. Mm-hmm. Because
Old card or new card?
so basically, it's saying that you can catch it in the middle of it bouncing.
Right.
Okay. Sounds like an old one.
It is an old one. The old one is called...
Hold on. It wasn't perfect kick. It was
perfect kick.
It was? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the old card reads, you try and kick the ball to the right spot to help your defense. Play after all players have been set up on a kickoff, but before any kickoff result is rolled. Place the ball anywhere in the line of scrimmage or the end zone of the opponent's half, excluding the wide zones. To determine the landing square for the ball, instead of the normal kick scatter the ball, scatter for 1 square 3 times using the side line throw-in template for each scatter. You may choose how the template is facing on each scatter as long as it is facing a sideline or end zone. So the wording is different.
Yeah, the wording's much better on the old one.
Well, that's probably going to be an ongoing theme, my friend.
Oh, dang. Okay.
I'm going to say right now that I kind of like some of the new fluffiness. I like how a lot of these cards have been maybe updated a little bit, name-wise. But I wish there was value on them like the old cards.
Yeah.
And I wish they were maybe play tested a little bit. And that's the good thing about the old cards is that we know they were play tested.
A long, long time.
A long time ago.
Okay.
All right. Ready for the next one?
Sure.
We're still in the heroic feats, Steve.
Okay.
Card. Go the extra mile. He's moving like a halfling at a halftime buffet. Old card or new card?
You have to tell me what it does.
Oh, that's right. That would only make it sense.
Yeah.
Play at the start of any of your turns before any of your players take an action. Pick a player on your team. Until the end of your turn, the player can go for it any number of times. Each attempt for the second or third, if they have the sprint skill, have a cumulative -1 modifier to the dice roll to see whether they fail.
Yeah, that's an old one. Greased shoes? No.
It's very similar.
It's like grease.
No, it's not greased shoes.
Is it just called Go For It?
The new card is called Go the Extra Mile.
Yeah.
The old card is called Going the Extra Mile.
Oh, okay. Well, it's
And
close.
it's pretty much the same effect.
Yeah.
The more you sprint, more you
The
go
harder
for
it
it, the harder it is.
Mm-hmm.
After your normal allowed 2 go for it, or if you have sprint, you're 3. So
You could legitimately go the whole length of the pitch.
exactly.
No, you can't. Because 6 always succeeds. So, yes. You could go
6
the
is always succeeds. But
That's true.
It's nigh impossible. Fancy footwork. Hey, where's he going? Timing. Place at the start of any of your turns before any of your players take an action. Effect. Pick a player on your team. Until the end of the turn, their MA is reduced by 2, but you can add 1 to the result of any dodge rolls for them. New card or old
That's
card?
a new one.
That is a new card.
Okay.
So simply put, you just, I guess if you need to dodge through a whole bunch of guys,
Huh.
you can basically get stunty in a lot of ways.
That's interesting.
But you add one to the result. It says add one to any dodge rolls. So basically you're getting stunty, right?
Well, you're not ignoring tackle rolls, though.
Oh.
You're
Well,
just,
okay, then that's anytime you dodge, you add one.
it's adding another one.
But you add one to the result of any dodge rolls.
Yeah.
For them.
In addition
Okay.
to the regular +1, so you get
Okay.
+2. And
So it's really not like a stunty. But
if you're going around one person, then, it's as if you have stunty.
okay. Anyways,
That's not bad, I guess.
that's not bad. All right. Suicide Blitz.
It's probably an old one because I think there was one called that.
Right. You're correct on that. Let's see. The quote is, the ball's barely left the ground, but that maniac's already punching. Timing. Play after the kickoff to your opponent has been fully resolved, including the ball landing, but before the turn begins.
Oh, wait, this is the one where each player can take an action, but you have to roll to see if the next person can do it, right?
I'm about to read that. So, pick a player on your team. They cannot be holding the ball. They can immediately take a blitz action. For the duration of the action, they have the no hands skill.
Oh, is that it?
That's what this one
Oh,
says.
okay.
You want me to read the old card?
Yeah.
The old card says, Suicide Blitz, the player gets a good jump over the line of scrimmage and launches himself at the opponents. Play after a kickoff to your opponent has been resolved, including the ball landing, but before the opponent's turn begins. A player of your choice not holding the ball may take a blitz action immediately. This player suffers from the no-hand skill for this action only. So it's relatively
Okay,
the
it's
same.
the same. I was thinking a different one then.
All right. Golden Boy. I met him once. Nice guy. That's the quote.
Okay.
Timing. Play at the start of the game immediately before the first kickoff. The effect is pick a player on your team while the player is on the pitch. You have a fame plus a +2. This does not affect your opponent's fame.
The name sounds familiar, but I don't know that result, so I'm going to say new.
It's a new card.
Okay.
So, as long as this guy's on the pitch, you get a +2 fame.
So, does that mean you get +2 to your fame? Or you get a +2?
While this player's on the pitch, you have a fame of +2. So
okay,
I
it
would
replaces the fame.
right, but I would not think it messes with your money at the end of the game. It says while he's on the pitch. So
Yeah,
I
I think
think
you're
this is
right.
only for kickoff results.
Yeah. I don't like that at all.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry they didn't ask you when they
Well,
made
I'm just
these
saying
up.
it's not.
I don't care for it either. It's fine. Whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Card, Catcher's Instincts. It's like you knew where the ball was going before it even went there. Timing. Play during any kickoff where you are receiving after the ball has scattered and ended in an unoccupied square in your half. Pick one of your players on the pitch that is on the line of scrimmage and move them to the same square as the ball. Roll to see if they catch the ball with an additional +1 modifier. Old card or new card?
Doesn't sound familiar. I'll say new.
Okay. It is an old card. The old card is called Come to Papa. You have read the kickoff almost perfectly, and you are ready to receive it. When you are receiving the kickoff after all players have been set up and the ball has been scattered, but before the kickoff result is rolled, move one player not on the line of scrimmage to where the ball will land. So it's kind of like a high kick.
Okay, but this one doesn't give you the +1. And didn't the other one say someone on the line of scrimmage?
The other one says not on the line of scrimmage.
The new one?
I'm sorry. I read the second one wrong. Both of them say not on the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
So it's like a high kick.
But the new one gives you an additional +1.
Gives you an additional +1.
Okay.
By the way, all these cards so far that we have matched up, they are the old cards, the special play ones.
Okay. That's why we don't know them. These are all 50,000.
These are all 50,000s.
and really never took them.
And I know all the cards are called special play cards now, but back in the day, in LRB 6 or the CRP, they were all special play or not all special play cards. There was Miscellaneous Mayhem, Dirty Tricks, and these were called special play cards.
Magic items.
Right. Let's see. Ready?
Yep.
In the zone. Did you see the look at that player's eyes? Nothing going to get in his way. Timing. Play at the start of any of your turns before any of your players takes an action. Effect. Pick a player on your team until the end of your turn. That player does not suffer penalties to any dice rolls as a result of enemy tackle zones.
Sounds new.
It is new.
Okay.
He does not suffer penalties to dice rolls as a result of enemy tackle zones.
So, I guess that would negate tackle, diving tackle.
Prehensile tail.
Not diving tackle. Prehensile tail, tentacles. Any zones.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
I guess so.
let me look real quick.
Sure.
Does not suffer any penalties to any dice rolls on his. So, yeah, dodge zones. Well, tackle zones, prehensile tail. I guess it would depend on how shadowing and tentacles is worded. Because if it gives a minus to his... No, because it wouldn't.
I don't think it would affect tentacles and shadowing.
It might not.
You dodge first and then see if they stay. So.
Yeah.
Or tentacles, you have to break away first before you ever do the dodge.
But what I'm saying is you have to roll dice.
That's true.
So if it says you get a plus for your movement and you get a negative to the roll because due to the other player's strength, then would it negate the negative from the other player's strength?
I'm not sure.
Overthinking. Okay.
Spectacular catch. Hey, where did he learn to catch like that all of a sudden? Timing. Play at the start of any of your turns before any of your players takes an action. Effect. Pick a player on your team until the end of your turn. That player has the catch and diving catch skills. Old or new?
That's old.
That is old.
It's called Perfect Catch. I don't know.
It's called Spectacular Catch.
Same. Okay.
A player puts himself on the line to try for an amazing catch. Play at the beginning of your turn before any player takes an action. For this turn, a player of your choice gains the catch and diving catch skill.
That's cool.
Unlikely interception. What just happened? Get a wizard in here. We need to see that again. Timing. Play when one of your players attempts to make an interception before rolling the dice.
New. Straight off.
Effect. Regardless of this player's agility or any modifiers, the interception will succeed on a roll of 3+.
Oh, hell no. No.
Isn't that nuts?
That is...
one of the most broken cards I've seen in this deck.
Yeah, that's... No
on
way.
A 3+.
Regardless of tackle zones. Well,
imagine if
it'll be safe to throw. If this guy's surrounded, he'd have to have a 6. Oh, no, he just needs a 3.
And imagine if he had catch. He gets to re-roll that. Right? The skill just says re-roll.
Yeah, because it doesn't
The
affect
card says modifiers.
You're right.
Crazy.
No, I don't like that.
I didn't think that you would really care for it too much. All right, we ready?
It's basically an instant.
It's close.
I mean, we've had...
It's a 66% chance of a interception.
No, I just mean like in Magic terms. It's an instant.
Oh, yeah.
It's the first one we have to where it's not played at the beginning of a turn or at the end of a turn.
I gotcha. Yeah.
I don't like that.
You totally catch somebody off guard, especially if they've never seen this card before. Hey, you want to play with the cards? Yeah, sure. I'm going to throw over this guy's head. I guess your Beast of Nurgle can try to intercept it.
I won't go off on a big rant, but this is why cards are not allowed in the league. And also, This is just like when HeroClix instituted
feats and
Yeah, but
battlefield conditions.
it was
and
the
stuff.
feats. What there was was it armor piercing feat?
Yeah, there was a feat that allowed
It was
more damage no matter what happened.
I don't think it was that. It was the one that gave the shield. That negated the attack.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called, but you could basically attach it to Wolverine. And as soon as he took like 6 damage, you could just give up 5 points and negate the whole attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was the first instant in that game. And at that point, I was like, this is going to kill it. And it did.
Yep.
For me.
All right.
So this better not be the same thing.
Mighty Leap. I haven't seen a jump like that before. I'm sorry, I misquoted that. I haven't seen a jump like that since before Spring-Heeled Scrog had that accident. Timing. At the start of any of your turns, before any of your players takes an action, effect. Pick a player on your team that has strength 4 or less. Until the end of your turn, that player has leap skill. When they use it, add 1 to the dice roll.
I think that's old.
Yeah, there's one called Heroic Leap. And the way it was worded was the player has 1 chance to be a hero and tries it all. At the beginning of your turn, before any player takes an action, choose a player with strength 4 or less. This turn, the chosen player may leap as the skill with a +3 to land regardless of that player's agility and skills. So
that's a little bit nerfed.
It's a little bit nerfed.
Okay, that's fine.
Now, just for you old school Blood Bowl people out there, Heroic Leap used to be a skill. Where, like, if you were 1 or 2 squares away from the end zone, you could do the, like, Walter Payton leap over the line.
And get to the 1 extra square.
Yeah,
so you could leap 3 into the end zone.
Right. You could leap to get into the end zone, and I think if you failed it, you were automatically knocked out or something like that.
I think that's right.
But anyways, it was a skill. So, all right. Perfect throw. Magic skill or plain old dumb luck? You decide. Timing. Play when one of your players throws the ball before making the throw. Effect. Does not apply any modifiers to the dice roll based on the distance between the thrower and the target.
New. When does it take effect?
Do not apply any modifier.
When do you play it?
Play when one of your players throws the ball before making the throw roll.
It's another instant.
Right. Do not apply any modifiers to the dice roll based on the distance between the thrower and the target.
So basically it takes away the -2.
Right. So you could throw a long bomb with your thrower on a 4+, or with your elf on a 3+.
Or with an elf with accurate on a 2+.
Right.
I don't like it being an instant.
And I guess you could do it on... Let's just throw the ball, so it's not throwing a teammate. So
Yeah. It's not too overpowered. Well, throwing doesn't happen much, so I'm okay. Whatever.
Okay. Next card. Star Ascendant. That player's going places if they don't get him first. Timing. Play at the start of the game immediately before the kickoff. Effect. Pick one of your players on the pitch. If they're on the pitch at the end of the first half, if they're on the pitch at the end of the second half, they get a bonus MVP award. This even counts in friendly games where no MVP is normally awarded. What? If you draw this card when playing a non-league game, discard it and draw another.
No. 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 Hell no. Obviously it's new. Hell no. You can get an MVP in a friendly game?
So you can get a bonus MVP even counts in friendly games where no MVPs are rewarded. I don't even get this. And if you draw this card when playing a non-league game, discard it. Wasn't a friendly a non-league game?
No, because friendlies are using your league teams.
Oh, okay.
Basically, that's saying if you're playing a one-off...
New card or old card, Steve?
Oh, that's new. And it's absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible.
So it's basically, if we're going by the decks that these other cards that do match the old ones are $50,000 in value, You're getting an MVP for $50K.
Okay, let me back off on this a little bit. Let's think of it under GW's official rules. Not my rules, but how GW does it.
Mm-hmm.
GW does a pick 3.
Right. And he has to stay on the pitch. So if he's in the knockout box, it does not count. It does say if he's on the pitch at the end of the second half. So he has to survive. That's
interesting. Yeah. So they do a pick 3 on the MVP. They do that because they want you to focus your skills on a few people so that when you rebuy your team, those people are the ones that you linchpin your whole team on.
From what we've seen without playtesting
As we
it
understand
ourselves,
it.
which we are going to do with our league.
With that being the case, I guess this isn't horrible. Because those 3 people are going to get the MVP every game anyways.
Probably, yeah.
So it's not really...
And if you see that somebody put this on their team, I might go foul your guy so you don't get an extra star player.
And you have to play it at the beginning of the game?
Play at the start of the game.
So it kind of puts a price on his head.
Yeah.
If he survives.
It's not as bad as I thought. But
he has to be on the pitch, though. He can't be in reserves either.
Right.
Like, you can't just sit him out and get it.
You could the first half, but the second half, you'd have to stay on the pitch.
I still don't like it because it can be... You can get a skill in a friendly, but whatever.
Okay. Ready?
It's absolutely not for me.
All right.
How many more of these do we have?
Dude, relax, buddy.
Okay, just curious.
You're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
You tired to hear my awesome voice?
No, the coughs that I have to cut out.
Am I coughing all the time?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Punt. I guess you didn't want the ball after all. Timing. Play at the end of any of your turns as long as one of your players is holding the ball. Effect. Place the ball in any square you want. Then scatter it 3 times in the same way as an inaccurate pass. It can only be caught in the final square. If it is not caught, it will bounce as normal.
That's new. It's an instant.
Nope. This is an old card. The old card is also called punt. Time to get rid of the ball and pin the opponent deep. Play after your turn is ended.
Okay, the other one doesn't say that, though, right?
Before your opponent's turn begins. Let me finish reading this, and I'll go back. If the player has control of the ball... if the player you control has the ball, you may place the ball in any square you want and scatter the ball 3 times. If the ball is not caught, it'll bounce as normal.
Okay.
So the other one says play at the end of any of your turns.
Okay, I guess that's not bad.
As long as one of your players is holding the ball. So both of them
it's
are
the same effect. So, yeah, that's not that big a deal.
All right.
Yeah.
Up like a shot. He barely even hit the ground, and he's already up. Timing. Play at the start of any of your turns before any of your players takes an action. Pick a player on your team that is prone and stand them up. This does not count as an action for your team, for your turn.
That sounds new.
That is new.
Okay.
So you basically get a guy to stand up for free.
That's not bad.
And it's at the start of your turn.
It's the equalness of the cards that I question. Oh, I get to stand up a guy. Oh, well, I got a free MVP. You know, oh, well, this guy gets to turn over at the beginning of a turn. Oh, well, this guy just ignored all tackle zones and everything for moving. I don't know. It's fine.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Last one for me. Burst of speed. Somebody had their Wheaton bricks this morning. Timing. Play at the start of any of your turns before any of your players takes an action. Effect. Pick a player on your team until the end of your turn. They add 1 to their movement and also have the sprint skill. New card or old card?
That sounds new.
It is an old card.
You could add 1 to your movement and you get the sprint skill?
This one is really weird. So out of the heroic feats, all of the cards that are matched old cards from the special play deck, you know, they match all these older heroic feats that's been reworded or whatever.
So the heroic feats, they match the old special play deck, which is 50K.
50K.
Okay.
This one comes out of the old random event decks.
It's 100K?
It's a 200K card.
What?
I'm going to read the old card now.
Okay.
Orchidis sponsorship. One player from your team has been selected to help field test the latest in innovation in Blood Bowl footwear. The air elemental field shoes make the player especially light on his feet. Play at the beginning of your turn before any player takes an action. For the remainder of the game, one player of your choice from your team gains +1 movement in the sprint skill and sure feet skills. So, there is a difference. Burst of Speed does it for one play.
Yeah.
Orchidis, a sponsorship, is the whole game,
And you
get sure feet. So it's not exactly the same card, but it's based off.
It is really close. And it's better when it's the whole game to me because then you know to watch out for it.
It is. I mean, at least it's only one play instead of a 200K card.
Yeah,
for
but
the whole
if you have a
game.
9 movement player,
Oh, yeah.
it's a 1-turn touchdown.
Yeah, most definitely.
But I don't
But the
know.
other one, you can still catch somebody off guard because it says play at the beginning of your turn before any player takes an action. So you can still catch somebody off guard.
That's true, yeah.
But then you know that player has it forever. But anyways, I thought that was interesting that out of all the cards here, the Heroic Feat deck was the old special play cards, except for this one random event card found in the new Heroic Feats.
And it is at least different enough.
But it is different enough, but it was close enough that I wanted to match the fluff
absolutely.
with it. So we saw where it goes. So there you go, folks. If you're excited about the new cards.
There's a couple I don't like, but that's because I think they're just overpowered.
You know what's more annoying than anything? That
The
these can't be
size of them.
normal card size. So
Yes.
even if you're weird like us, you could at least get deck sleeves for them. I'm sure there's deck sleeves out there. I just haven't found them yet.
Someone said they're the same size as the Silver Tower cards.
Okay. Is
they
there
made
deck
it-
sleeve for them?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, then, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, GW.
Well, if you're going to make your own special size, contract out of China and make some custom sleeves.
That might be the plan eventually. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Fantasy Flight does all those weird sizes, and
Yeah.
they make their own deck sleeves.
Yeah, they should. That's
So-
smart.
Well, there you go, folks. Now you know the heroic feats from the Hall of Fame pack of special play cards.
And coming up next, we'll be talking about miscellaneous memorabilia.
It's magical memorabilia.
Whatever it is. Started with an M. I was close.
We'll be right back, guys.
Okay, and in this segment, we're going to be talking about the magical memorabilia.
Yay!
Okay, on this one, truth be told, we already went through this. But yeah, every card matches an old card.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about figuring out if one's new or old. So basically, it's also 2 separate decks.
Okay.
So your job is going to be telling me what deck and then what the old card was.
Okay. I'll do my best.
Yeah, probably not going to be that hard, honestly.
We'll see.
Okay. Starting off with Gruck the Bear's Gauntlets. The quote, "A lot of players want to wear these, simply so they can say they've killed someone with their bare hands." Timing, play at the start of any drive while setting up your team. Then the effect. Pick a player from your team to wear the gauntlets. For the rest of the drive, that player has +1 strength. After the drive ends, the player is so drained that they have -1 strength for the rest of the game.
This was a magical item that was like Gitka's something, bracing, smashing, something like that. It was a pun off of Mike Ditka.
Yeah. Gita's Strength of the Bear. And that was a scroll found in the house of a retired legendary coach contains a spell of bear strength. Play at the beginning of the turn before any player takes an action, and it's the same exact thing. You get
So they
+1
changed the
strength and-
fluff on
Yeah.
this from Gitka's to Gruck the Bear.
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Okay. That's fine.
So yeah, that was magic item, which
Okay.
is one of the
But
old
no change.
50K. No, same exact.
Okay.
Luther's dazzling wrist guards. They say that Count Luther's wardrobe was almost as beguiling as he was, and he even charmed himself a few times. Play at the start of any drive while setting up your team. Pick a player from your team to wear the wrist guards. For the rest of the game, they have the bonehead, hypnogaze, and sidestep skills.
Okay. I don't remember exactly what the old card was called. It was a magic item, and it was like I want to say it was a hypnogaze necklace. I could be wrong on that.
No, it's beguiling bracers.
Okay.
So they just can't change the name from bracer to wrist guard because people don't know what bracers
Same
are.
exact.
The player has come across the bracers of Count Luther to use for the match. They are so good that they even distract the player wearing them sometimes.
Okay. So they took the fluff.
Same thing, yeah.
And really fluffed up this card in a positive way. The new card. Mm-hmm. That's good.
And the old one makes it obvious why Bonehead is there. The new one intimates it, but I didn't catch it like I did on the old one. But not a big deal.
Well,
Because he's so beautiful. Heldenhoff's headband. According to Bright Crusaders fans, star catcher Wolfhart Heldenhoff was blessed by Nuffle. According to everyone else, he was just lucky. Play at the start of any drive while setting up your team. Pick a player from your team to wear the headband. Until the end of the game, that player gains the pass block skill and receives a +1 modifier on any attempts to intercept the ball.
obviously a magic item, and this was some headband of catching or something like that.
Magic gloves of Jark Longarm.
Okay, well, I wouldn't have got that. But
Your item is featured in Spike magazine, as the magazine gives you these gloves for your upcoming game. Play after your turn is ended, or your kickoff to opponent is resolved before your opponent's turn, and then a player of your choice gains a pass block skill and a +1 until blah blah blah.
okay, so they just refluffed that one up too. To a Bright Crusader.
The old one is until the drive ends. The new one is until the end of the game.
Ooh.
So there is a difference there.
Ooh. That's big.
Yeah.
That's big for is that an old $50,000 card?
Yeah. That is a big difference.
That is huge. And you get what skills?
The pass block, and you get +1 on any attempts to intercept the ball.
Okay. Same thing with the old one was pass
Yeah.
block and okay, but it's the whole game. I don't know. Maybe they thought that for it to get some use since there's rarely any passing,
I guess so. But still,
give it more longevity. I don't know.
yeah. And yet, with the lack of passing, it's hard to say that this one is broken. I'd want to say that it should be 100,000 because you're getting at least 2 halves out of it.
Well, I mean,
Two
the new
drives.
cards, there's no value to them,
Right.
which is, I think, a giant mistake. But whatever.
So I think that's fine
Okay.
because, like I said, it comes into play so rarely.
Right.
Okay. Spranley's Cup. Some players insist on wearing extra padding around their most delicate areas. Burbo Spranley went even further, commissioning this enchanted wonder after one too many run-ins with a goblin's hobnail boots. Timing, play at the start of any drive while setting up your team. Pick a player from your team to wear the enchanted cup. For the rest of the game, fouls cannot be made against the player, and injury rolls made against them cannot be modified or re-rolled in any way.
This was the magical codpiece.
Well, technically it was the good old magical codpiece.
Okay. Okay. But it was a magic item.
Mother always said, never play without your codpiece. After years of being passed from one generation to the next, the magic is still working. And it's the same.
Okay.
We need to make sure it's the whole game. Yeah.
Whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie.
Okay, next one. Agrablag's Ball of Pain. Agrablag the Ruinous fashioned this deadly ball for the Chaos All-Stars so they could dissuade their opponents from trying to score. Sidebar. Who's Agrablag the Ruinous? Is that a new guy?
I've never heard of him.
New Chaos All-Star for Tom.
Well,
You can come with the... Hey,
I could go check the lore of Nuffle to see if he shows up.
oh, that's true. So timing is play at the start of a drive in which you're kicking before the kickoff. Effect. Until the end of this drive, if a player attempts to pick up or catch the ball, not including interceptions, and fails, they are treated as being attacked with the stab skill.
This is the spike ball from the Dirty Tricks.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a dirty trick card.
What was the character's name? I'm on Laura Nuffle now.
Agrablag, Agrablag.
He's not in the non-players.
No, I think he's a player.
Nope. He's not. Nope. He's not in the old lore. So
Okay.
he's a new star player.
So the other one is a bloodthirster is in the crowd today. So in honor of this event, a spiked ball is swapped with a real ball. More blood for the blood god and the fans.
Okay. So they kind of fluffed it up.
Yeah, same thing. So here's an interesting question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Stab. Does stab appear anywhere else in the rules?
Of the new rules?
Roxana Darknail, she has no?
No, she doesn't have it. I don't remember without getting my book out.
Yeah, but I don't think any of the new stuff has stab. So was it even in the rules for like the listing of skills?
I don't know. You're talking about the latest edition, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
I honestly don't know without looking.
I'd say we'd look and let you know, but we're not going to. So just something to think about, and if you know, let us know, because we're going to forget by the time we finish this. Next one, Scrott's Sticky Slop. One of the cheatingest players in the Auckland Raiders, and that's saying something, Sticka Scrott used to smear this gloopy paste on his hands before every match. Timing, play at the start of any drive while setting up your team. Pick a player from your team to smear their hands with the slop. For the rest of the game, this player has the catch and sure hand skills, but cannot make pass or handoff actions.
This is a magical... no. It's a dirty trick, but I don't remember. Sticky fingers? I don't know. Sticky finger?
It's a magical item.
Oh, okay.
Gloves of holding.
Gloves of holding. Okay.
Yeah. A dirty trick called sticky fingers would be something really bad, and we're not going to go there.
That'd be awesome.
You turn a snotling into a puppet.
That is amazing.
Okay. Gloves of holding. A player puts a magic salve, Griznix Stickum, onto his glove before the drive. And the same thing.
So they changed the fluff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of curious where they're getting the names. I assume it's just coming up with them. But
Yeah.
like if they're named off of people in the office or something.
I don't know.
This one's probably easy.
Okay.
Bob's Biffin helmet. The refs gave up trying to make Bob Bifford wear a helmet once he'd pointed out that they never survived his first headbutt. I'm not sure whether he was talking about the headgear or the match officials. Timing. Play at the start of any drive while setting up your team. Pick a player from your team to wear the helmet. The first time that player makes a block or blitz action, they gain +1 strength and the Mighty Blow skill for the duration of that action.
Is this the Helm of Smashing magic item?
Wand of Smashing magic item.
Wand of Smashing.
Stick. Smash. That's all it says. It's the same thing.
Okay.
Except the Wand of Smashing is for turn, the other one's for action. I don't think it really matters.
Well, you get to one action.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
It's relatively the same thing, yeah.
So, what bothers me is I like the idea of the fluff, but it also says that Bob never wore a helmet.
Right.
So is it one they made for him?
And he refused to wear it?
I don't know. That's just me being
And
annoying.
isn't his name Bob Bifford?
Yeah.
Oh, but his helmet's called the Biffin helmet?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess biffing someone is hitting him in the head.
I'm going to biff you.
Headbutt. Yep. Hightower's Lucky Sock. Superstitious elven catcher Soren Hightower was so convinced of this sock's good fortune that he actually wore it 2 games in a row. Play at the start of any drive while setting up your team. Pick a player from your team to wear the lucky sock. The first time a successful armor roll is made against that player, they are placed prone without an injury roll.
Still got to be a magic item, but I have no idea what the old card was even called.
It was called Lucky Charm.
Lucky Charm?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The player has acquired some lucky charms from a halfling in a green coat before the game.
I almost said Lucky Rabbit's Foot, but I didn't.
There's a different one that gave you pro.
That's what I thought,
Crap.
but okay.
That's not in here. Okay. This one, a player of your choice may ignore the first time his armor is broken and just be placed prone. Same. However, any roll that ignores armor, such as the crowd or throw a rock, is not affected by Lucky Charm. So I guess the new one is the same. It just doesn't have that listed. Which I don't know why you wouldn't put there just to clarify for people.
No idea.
Because people are going to be like, but, I don't know.
Play testing.
It's the same exact ability. Just take the old words because they put them there for a reason. Because people had questions. I don't know. I've got 2 more. Von Wilken's Boots. Johann von Wilken was long held as one of the strongest kickers around, until a troll ate his legs. That's what you call an occupational hazard. Play at the start of any drive while setting up your team. Pick a player from your team to wear the boots. For the rest of the game, that player has the kick skill, with the additional effect that you can re-roll the D8 when the ball scatters on kickoff, so long as the player is the one kicking.
I'm going to say Boots of Kicking magic item. I know it's some other name, but I don't remember.
Well, this is weird, because the closest one is a dirty trick.
Okay.
Which was kicking boots. And it says these boots are made for stomping. That's just what they'll do.
And that gave Dirty Player, didn't it?
It gave kick and dirty player and a -1 movement for the remainder of the game.
Okay.
So this is pretty much a new one. The only way that it matches is it's a boot thing, and it gives
kick. Okay.
But this new one allows you to re-roll the D8 when it scatters.
So it's a variant of an old dirty trick.
Yeah. And it does say that you can re-roll the D8 when the ball scatters on kickoff, so long as this player is the one kicking.
Okay.
What? How do you determine that? Because, so what I'm saying is, does he actually have to actively use kick skill to say he's the one kicking it?
I guess so.
Or is it a fluff thing?
It's probably the fluff thing more than anything.
Probably. Just being pedantic at that point.
But I guess maybe if you had a guy with kick on your team, you need to specify that this guy's kicking the ball.
Yeah.
So you can get those benefits.
Well, maybe it'll be a rule in the future where you have to declare who's kicking. And we'll bring back kicking models. That would be awesome. Not really.
Yes, it would.
Kind of.
It'd be kind of cool, but then again, then they'd be at Forge World and they would sell out in 5 minutes, and they go, "We didn't know anybody would like these. Really? Why did you make them then?" Anyways, I'll rant later.
They're only $35 each. Hey, so final one. Zug's jersey, $24.92. Zug wore this for a full season without washing it. Maybe some of his ruggedness rubbed off. Play at the start of any drive while setting up your team. Pick a player from your team to wear the jersey. For the rest of the game, armor rolls made against the player cannot be modified anyway. Only count the exact total of the 2 dice rolled and the player's actual AV as shown on the roster.
I'm going to say magic item, but I'm going to not know what the card's called. Magic jersey.
The Belt of Invulnerability.
Okay.
Your player has found a way to become a Man of Steel. Armor rolls made against a player may not be modified or re-rolled. Any part of them, blah, blah, blah. This includes, but is not limited to, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it's basically the same. We just kind of cleaned up the words.
Okay.
So it's not too bad.
So here's my thoughts on these.
It's not really a magic item, but I guess it's memorabilia, so it matches. Yeah,
It's a memorabilia because they changed the name.
yeah.
I have no idea why you don't take the old play-tested cards with values and just refluff them up. Rename them if you want.
Yeah.
I'm fine with this being Zug's jersey since he's a legend.
Yeah.
And you could go, how they talk about, instead of the Lucky Charm, now it's the Lucky Sock for Soren Hightower. He's an old Elfheim Eagle.
It matches with the memorabilia aspect. So that has to tie to a player or a team or something.
I honestly am fine with them changing things to be better.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
But I really wish they would just give a value to these cards or only remake the 50K ones or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter. We're in a stage of Blood Bowl now where you get to make your own Franken rule book, as somebody put it.
This is post-rules, like post-truth.
I mean, you have White Dwarf coming out, and they give you some little rules that if you want to use, you can. If you don't want to. This just reminds me of second edition so much when there would be an article out, so we'd use that rule. And then we didn't get that White Dwarf, so we heard about it, but we can't find a copy of it, so we don't remember the rule. And then
the
we
difference,
just added things, and it's a pain in the butt.
The difference is, in the old way, you were new to the game, and you wanted to do new things.
Of course.
Now, we're old fogies who've been playing this game for a long time, using well-established, well-balanced rules, and this stuff is coming in that is bothering us. What we should probably do is talk to people who are new to the game. So if you're new to the game and you're listening to us, tell us what you think about these rules. You hear about us complaining, but...
That's a great point. I really would love feedback for people who said, I started listening to your podcast 2 months ago when I bought my first copy. Mm-hmm. Maybe they got these cards and they sat down, they couldn't wait to get home, and they drew two randomly, and they don't care about the value or whether they're balanced or not. I really would love to hear feedback from people who use these. In a way,
these people are playing a different game than we do because they're using these cards all the time.
I would love to hear from you people. If you are out there and you use these cards all the time, and your excitement was, I'm going to go buy these cards to add to my other ones, I want to hear from you. My theory is that everybody who bought these cards are like me and you, who are trying to support the game. I was hoping, when I wasn't really planning on getting these at first, and I saw Hall of Fame pack, I thought they might all be brand new cards.
Yeah.
More like Zug's jersey, Griff's chicken helmet, or whatever. When I said Hall of Fame, I was thinking these are all going to be about the star players. They're probably going to be new. And then I started noticing some of them matched up, and I thought, well, we got to do a segment on this.
And we do like the fluff.
Oh,
it's cool
I'm fine
they
with
added
the
new fluff and new players.
Some of the rules that they tinkered with, whatever. If you're playing with the new cards, I would love to hear your feedback. I really would. And it's not to gang gripe at Games Workshop. I get they're trying something new to see what sticks, and they probably need to do that as well. But I am just really curious who's using all the cards. I mean, maybe you're one of those guys that doesn't collect the cards that you see at like the Las Vegas Open or these other events. Or the Bugman's beard. What is it? Bugman's beard?
It was the full beard cup.
The full beard cup that had a special card.
Right. If you don't know, the official cards, there was an official one for full beard cup. And as far as I understand it, there was an official card for Las Vegas Open. 2 of them.
Okay. So
each day. So that was a tournament in Vegas. They got their own special cards made because Mark Perry, who runs it, talked with GW. And since it's the largest North American 40K tournament, they decided to sponsor the Blood Bowl tournament with special cards.
That's great.
Which is cool.
I'm really curious, though. Is there a group of guys who use the cards all the time in the current form?
Right.
And then it's like, oh, I got to get that one because that one looks so much fun. I just really am curious. So if you're out there, please email us, tweet us, talk to us on Facebook. Let us know.
Yeah. So I think that's probably enough covering of this for now.
Yeah. Do you have any other thing to talk about with this?
No. I was hoping when I saw that come out, the Hall of Fame pack, and I realize it's special play cards, but I really want a pack of Hall of Fame player cards, like for all the star players.
That would have been awesome too.
You know, you give me a pack of 35 star player cards with a picture, with a stat listing, and what teams they play for. Because who is it? Impact has those. They were made for Ozbowl, I think.
Somebody else made them, but then Impact carried them. Those are amazing.
Yeah.
And you know what's good about them? Don't put these out, GW, unless you really edit them. Pick some people out of the community, have them look at it, and then they can go, well, you forgot loner on this guy.
Yeah.
Or you forgot this skill, or you swapped the strength and the agility by accident. No big deal. But yes, we would buy those up in a second.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd want multiples to give to people to use in my league because it's so much easier when you're able to say, okay, I've got this star player. I know what it is, but here's his card, so you can keep track of what it is.
I bought those cards from Impact probably 6-7 years ago. And at first,
Yeah.
I thought at the time, I don't remember even what they cost, but I remember thinking, these are kind of pricey. But I have loved every moment that I had those cards.
Yeah.
And that's all I want. I mean, what I want is inducement cards like we've had before, because I really did feel like most of those were balanced.
And I think it added
It's
more
in
to
there.
the game because it gave you more inducements. Inducements are limited now, especially if you go by the new rules.
Yeah, there's no wizard, there's no this, there's no that.
There's not a whole lot of star players. Mm-hmm. You know, you're just so limited. I don't know. It added more variety.
Of course.
So,
All right.
anyways.
Well, we will take a short break, and we will be back with some Wizards Cup.
Wizard Cup, January 21st, 2017.
The first
That was-
Wizards Cup ever.
That wasn't the right date. 2017.
2017. No, that's not even close, dude.
No, I know. It's off by...
January 21st, 2017.
Yes, I real.
Wizards
I
Cup.
wanted to say 2517. And I screwed up by saying 2017.
Okay, fluff-wise, it's 2517.
Yeah.
Unless it's the new fluff, which is not 500 years. It's, 482 years.
They're wrong. We're right.
That is correct.
There's one thing that you need to know. Scott and I are right about this. Everybody else is wrong.
Right.
So Wizards Cup, we held it January 21st. It was a lot of fun.
At
3
Wizards
rounds.
Asylum.
At Wizards Asylum, hence the Wizard Cup.
In the past, we've done a Critter Bowl for January, but nobody's having a baby right now. So
Good.
that's probably good for the world.
Yeah.
So we were still asked by the owner to start a tournament since the store league is going so well,
Yeah,
to
let's
get
try-
some of the new guys used to the tournaments.
Right. And out of the 8 people, 3 new people?
Yeah, we only had 8 people show up, which was fine. We expected anywhere from 6 to 10, really.
Yeah, it wasn't really, we didn't advertise it. It was kind of a last minute thing. It was just for fun.
The
No
bill
special prizes.
The
or
bill
anything.
total was 1.1 million. It was you get 5 skills, 3 of which could be doubles. So
Yeah.
team values might be a little different, but not enough to cause inducements.
No.
Yeah, all the prizes were certificates, and the entry fee was a low $5, which was great for 3 games. Mm-hmm. We gave out a few miniatures and stuff for the
Yeah, sure.
people as drawings, so there was plenty of prize support, and it was a lot of fun.
So it was 3 out of the 8 were new people?
Yes, we had Rod LaBelle, we had Coy Thrash.
Coy Trash.
Let me say that.
He's a wrestler.
Jimmy Christmas.
I am
I knew I was
Coy
going to mess that
Trash.
up. I even asked you before we started this
Uh-huh.
to pronounce his name right. I knew I was going to say Trash. He should make a Blood Bowl guy on his orc team called Coy Trash.
I like it.
Coy Thrash. And then we also had Jeff Hunt came out.
Yep.
And we got an old school player that hasn't played in about 4 or 5 years. Roger came out.
I think he's played since then.
No.
But it's been a while.
He hasn't played since Oklahoma Bowl 1, I believe, for us.
Nah.
You can go, maybe Oklahoma Bowl 2.
I don't know.
And for the life of me, I can't think of his last name right now.
Fuck.
I want to say Roger Goodell. No, Roger Oman. I'm sorry.
Roger Oman. Yep.
I couldn't get Roger Goodell's name out of my head.
I had Roger Debris from the producers. So that was a little gayer.
Oh, so Roger came back to play some Blood Bowl after some years away.
It was nice seeing him.
Brownstone showed up, Michael Lewis. Of course, there was me and you, and then Scott House also showed up to play. So, fun little group of guys. You know, if you run tournaments out there, sometimes your 8 or 10-man tournaments are some of your most favorite because everybody gets to talk, everybody gets to have a good time. Usually, everything stays on time, too. So, it's, not a big deal.
It's a lot easier to wrangle 8 people than it is 30, 40, 50.
Right, and going to lunch is real easy, too, because instead of people sitting around and deciding, usually, like, 2 people say, I'm going here, and then some people, pair off with them, and somebody else says, I'm going here. And so, really easy to manage. Do you want to go over your matches? Or would you like me to start?
No, I'll just run through mine real quick.
You're going to start all 3?
Yeah, I'll just run through mine real quick. I kind of forgot, what all we did. It's been a few weeks, so.
Yeah, why would Steve remember any of his Blood Bowl matches?
I don't. And I was doing a whole bunch of overtime, and I was tired.
Do you remember any matches from your very first Chaos Cup? The first tournaments we went to.
Chaos Cup?
Yeah. Do you remember any matches, specific matches?
Yes, because I played a buddy from Norway.
Okay, I was just curious.
His name. Dang it. I played Phil for the first time.
Right.
I took Norris, and I lost the first 2 games. No, I won the first 2 games, both of them against Orcs. I thought I did really well there. My next 2 games were against Norse, and I screwed up both times because I was so used to controlling the sidelines, I allowed myself to get surfed both times. It really pissed me off. But I think I tied those, and then I lost the last 2. So I think I went 2-2-2.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious since you don't remember much. I figured you'd remember your first time at least.
Well, yeah, because it was special.
Right. I mean,
your mom was there. Oh. Hey, so first round, I went up against Coy. We had I took Pro Elves.
This was kind of okay. So going into this, we decided for Michael, myself, Scott Hess, and you, we were going to do random teams.
Right.
So we randomized it. Michael got Chaos Dwarves, which he's going to play at a Moracle Cup. You got Pro Elves, which you are also taking to a Moracle Cup. So in some ways, you guys got to kind of play test your builds and get familiar with your teams. Scott Hess took Nurgle by randomness, and then I got Necro. So,
yeah, but you're not going to a Moracle Cup because you suck.
No, and Scott's not playing Nurgle either.
No.
So you and Michael kind of got to play test your teams a little bit.
Yeah. My team was okay. Pro Elves. I mean,
what 5 skills did you take?
I took Jordell. I don't remember what skills
Are you going to take Jordell to a Moracle Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, well.
I just need to play better. I wasn't. So I tied.
Steve's going to be the weak link at a Moracle Cup.
No doubt. I tied Coy 1-1. Don't think anything major happened. I think he knocked out a couple of my people pretty bad.
Coy's playing Orcs, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
A second round, went up against Roger, and he was playing his lizards. And he's really freaking good with his lizards. Mm-hmm. And I was holding him off. I was holding my own, and then he started hurting me, so I ended up losing 2-1. But I almost tied him, which doesn't matter, doesn't help anything, but it would have felt nice. And then the last game, everything started coming together, and I beat Jeff 3-2.
And Jeff Hunt was playing his human
team. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, Jordell's a beast. Sidestep on the blitzers is awesome. I was unsure about if I wanted to use kick or something else. I'm still not entirely sure. I like kick. I realized that on defense, I can play really well. On offense, I'm still cloudy.
I feel that same way playing my elf union team or pro elf
Yeah.
team in the store league.
Because with elves, to me, it feels like I can do anything on defense. Because defense is where you're not planning so much ahead. It's like you have to look at what they're giving you and decide what to do. That's really easy when I have Jordell, and I can just jump in, knock it down, get the ball, run away, whatever.
Right.
On offense, it's like, well, do I want to slow roll it? Do I want to try to bust out to the sides? Do I want to try to bash and hit? But that's not really my game. So I think I might actually need to do some playtesting with them to get more up to speed on how to do offense. That was my main takeaway with this.
Okay. Did you feel like you suffered by only having one bench player? Or did you carried only one bench player,
Yeah,
right?
I only took one. I don't really think so. It would have been nice to have more, but
It's a lot of value sitting on the bench.
yeah.
Pro elves get hurt a lot, so
They
you just
do.
got to accept that kind of.
But they're also really good playing down. And if I can keep Jordell on the field, I can have him and two other people and be fine.
I pretty much agree with you. That's been my experience is in the store league with pro elves, it seems like I always get my butt beat, but honestly, so far I've won or tied every game I played. So
Yeah.
having six guys sucks, but at the same time, all it takes is one mistake on the other guy, and then you can flip the board.
I'm really tempted to see about maybe not taking a bench guy and seeing if I can't use that money somewhere else.
Ooh.
I know. I pretty much have to take a bench guy.
I would think so. How many
yeah.
rerolls you have? Since we're at Moracle talking here
think it was-
in the middle of Wizards Cup.
I think it was 3, but I'm not positive.
Okay.
It might be 2. It might be 1. I honestly don't know.
Wow, that's
I
the
don't
great
have it in
memory
front
of
me.
Steve.
It sure is.
Which Snotling are you missing from your miniatures?
I'm not.
But he could tell you what he's missing from his Blood Bowl collection.
It was 14. That was the hard one to find.
Okay, see?
And then I'm good at numbers. Just not
Not Blood Bowl
that
numbers.
stuff. Okay, I don't have 75,000 teams that come in and out every week. Close.
Right, yeah. Sure, buddy.
Tournaments falls into the short-term memory because it just only matters for a little time.
You make them up, you play them, you move on.
Yeah,
I
pretty
got
much.
you. All right, so my round one opponent was, and I knew this as soon as first off, as soon as I found out Roger Oman was coming, I told Steve, I was like, well, Roger's going to win the tournament.
Yeah, you did.
And Steve's like, you think so? And I was like, yeah, dude, trust me. He's going to bring his lizards and he's going to destroy all of us. And then before I hit the button, I didn't want to hit the button because I was playing and I knew I was going to play Roger. I hit the button. I got paired up against Roger and I've never beat Roger ever. So it was my Necro versus Roger's Lizards. A very back and forth battle. I believe I knocked out some of his skinks, but he also beat me up too. Surprisingly, I don't remember a whole lot about this, but there was a big struggle. I ended up tying it 1-1. I was very frustrated because I really wanted to beat Roger, and I thought catching him after like him not playing a couple years would like, here's my chance, and
Right.
it just didn't happen. He's a good player. Still a good player with positioning his guys and everything else. And Lizards, man, they suck so much because you think you're away from them, and they still move 6, even their big guys. Just,
Yeah.
so frustrating.
The big guys having 6 movement is killer.
Second round, I played Rod LaBelle. He's a new guy for our league. It was his first time outing playing Skaven. He got the Skaven team from GW and was really excited about playing them. Even before the tournament, he asked me a few, what skills should I run, and I kind of helped him out there. This game, I got destroyed on the pitch. I never seen a Skaven team just dismantle a team like he was doing.
Yeah.
We even shared dice. This is one of those deals where he's like, I'm so glad we shared dice because I'd been so mad. There was one turn where he casualtied like 3 of my guys. He rolled double 6s, and then he rolled 11, and then he knocked a guy down, and he rolled double 6s again, and he was laughing. And I was like, all right, look, dude, I know you're new, and this is your second game with Skaven, but Skaven usually are the guys who get beat up. They usually don't hand it out.
If only that came back to bite him at some point later on.
Well, you can tell that story in a second, because I don't know what that means. You're giving me the funny look.
Yeah, didn't you play his dwarves?
Oh, in the store league?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And didn't you kill 2 of his dwarves in the first game?
Oh, well, yeah. I forgot about that part. All right. Well, so Rodney Skaven beat the crap out of me. And I
Right.
think he got 6 casualties against me. I'm not 100% sure. It was at least 5, if not 6.
Jeez.
Luckily, I carry a bench player. I tied him 1-1. This is one of those instances where I was going to go in to score, and he didn't pursue me as hard as maybe he should have to force me to score earlier.
Right.
And then he would have had numbers on me because I couldn't injure his guys. So I kind of got lucky in that route. I guess he thought he couldn't get me. I had enough guys to kind of make a little cage up there near the goal line. I had to stall out to get a 1-1 tie against Skaven.
Jeez.
And like I said, he beat the hell out of me. Then we broke for lunch. I think you and some guys went where?
Next door to the Thai
Oh,
place.
you went to the Thai place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Had their volcano chicken. It is really good. I have been going to Wizards for... How long has he owned that? 94 or something like that?
I think 99 or 98.
Did the place exist there before that?
Not a comic store.
Has it really only been that long?
Well, that's almost 20 years.
Okay, good point. So I've been going there since then. I thought I went... never mind. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I've been going since he opened, pretty much. I didn't know him when I first started going there.
Right.
But so we're talking almost 20 years. I've never been in that Thai place.
Oh, you never ate inside?
I've never been in the Thai place
Okay.
at all.
Not even to pick up food? Mm-mm. You've had food from there,
Not much.
but it's people
I've never
brought it
been-
for you?
So when I was younger, this is dumb, but I'll say it. I didn't realize Thai was basically just Chinese.
Okay.
I thought it was Thai food, which
Right.
was way different than Chinese food. No, it's just freaking Chinese food with some Thai spices.
Okay.
That is how it is here, anyways.
Right.
Elsewhere, it might be different. But no, just never did. It's actually pretty nice.
I haven't ate there since the new group bought it, which
Yeah.
was like 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I've ate there in the past.
Yeah, it was really good.
So you guys went there.
Mm-hmm.
There was a group of us. Rod works over at, he's a general manager for Chicken Express. And he's like, I'm just going to go there. We were going to go over and eat a crazy hot dog or something
Right.
over on Campus Corner. And then I joked with him about buying our lunch. And he's like, well, I could probably hook you up with half price food. And I was like, okay, sold, sold for the cheap. So me, Coy, Jeff, and Rod, we took a big car of people over there. We had some half-price Chicken Express, and then we came back with our bellies full to play the third and final round of Wizards Cup. I got matched up against Coy Thrash and his orcs. I was scared that here we go again. I'm going to get my butt kicked by all these orcs. But really, the Necro came alive, and we kind of... I don't think we'd really dismantled him. He had some bad luck, if I remember correctly, like picking up the ball and stuff.
Right.
But the Necro team won 3-0. So after 2 ties, I at least get to go out with a win at Wizards Cup.
It's not bad.
No, it was fun. I mean, Coy's a great guy to play against, and he's still learning Blood Bowl, so he just loves to play Blood Bowl.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So then we went ahead and did the rewards after we did all the raffles. Oh, while we were waiting on one of the games to finish, we did a competition, and then to do the final results, because we had to fill out all the certificates, we battled it out for a prize. We had a game of Loop and Chewy.
Which, if you don't know what that is, it's a lot more fun than it should be.
It's a reskin or a rethemed Loop and Louie game with Chewbacca, where he goes around the board and you flip them over and knock the other
So,
stormtroopers.
if you don't know what it is, there are 3 positions, so it's 3 players. Mm-hmm. In the middle is, in this version, Chewbacca in a Millennium Falcon.
Right.
That is spinning mechanically around. If you don't do anything, he's going to hit the tokens that you have on your base.
Right.
And you have 3 tokens, and as soon as they're gone, you lose and you're out.
You're out, but you can still keep hitting Chewbacca to knock other.
So what you do is, as he's coming around, you have a plunger or whatever. You hit the lever, and it shoots something up and hits Chewbacca, hits the Falcon, and he'll start flinging around.
Correct.
So it's on a static arm, but he can rotate 360, and the arm can go up and down. So it's dumb. It's for children. And it was a lot of fun.
Right. So we kept matching people up in these 3-persons pods, and then we even let Roger's son come up and play because we needed an extra guy anyways. And then, or maybe Michael let him take his place in the finals. But Roger's son ended up winning Looping Chewie, and he got to pick out a miniature, and he was really happy about that. So
yeah, he's painting miniatures too.
Yeah, supposedly he's painting miniatures with his
How old is he?
dad.
Like 5?
He's, I think 7.
7?
Yeah, he's a young guy.
That's true. Yeah.
But maybe a future Blood Bowler there.
Well, at least someone we can send stuff to paint.
Exactly. So we had a fun round of Looping Chewie. If you go to my Facebook, I posted the dudes, all these adults playing Looping Chewie, and it's a great, fun game, especially for kids and adults, maybe more so.
Exactly.
We might bring that out at Oklahoma Bowl.
We did find out that if there's only 2 people left, you have to have the third person keep playing. Otherwise, it's completely unfair.
Yes, that is true. Okay, so results for Wizards Cup. Roger Oman won first place, despite me tying him. He got first place.
So I was looking in the system. Roger last played, he played with Dark Elves, Critter Bowl 2, 3 years ago. January 18th, 2014.
Okay, so
it's been 3 years.
3 years, okay.
But he didn't win that one. He lost because he was playing Dark Elves.
Well, of course. Lizards are his team.
Yeah.
Second place went to Brownstone, Michael Lewis. Scott Delzine, Scott Prime got third, or the Delzine Cup. Best offense went to Steve.
Yay.
Yeah. Best defense went to Scott Hess. Most casualties, he had I think 9 or 10 total, and I think he got 5 or 6 of those from me alone. Was Rod LaBelle and his Skaven, so I gave an award away single-handedly.
Nice.
MVP, or is that what we call it, MVP? No. What's the one where your peers vote? Best sports. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Best sport went to Jeff Hunt. Back of the pack went to Coy for finishing last place and earning every little drop of points he could muster. Mm-hmm. We had no stunty people there, so there was no stunty champion or best stunty given away. And then the fan favorite for the best painted team or what you thought was the coolest team, we had a tiebreaker on that. And I just wanted to give an honorable mention to Nathan Ketchlin, who painted my team. But I went ahead and gave the award to Roger since he actually painted his own team for the tiebreaker. So Roger got 2 awards out of all of us, which was fine.
Yeah, Nathan could have won for mine too because he painted my my pro elves.
Right. I was really excited. I was like, ooh, I might win a fan favorite award. Mm-hmm. Of course, I didn't paint him, but that's not part of the rules. So, but we had exact tie, and I thought,
yeah, absolutely,
give it to the guy who actually really painted his own team. So,
he deserves it.
Right. So it was a good time. It was a part of Scars. I don't know how that alters the Scars standings because I know
it's only been 2 tournaments. So
there's been Wizards Cup and then Winter War. Mm-hmm. And then coming up soon is Oklahoma Bowl weekend.
That's where it's going to matter.
That's going to be the big one.
Yeah. And the Heartland one matters.
Is that a Scars event too? Okay. That one's called the Heartland...
Heartbreak? I don't know.
Heartland Heartbreak. That's on March 4th up near the Kansas City area. So check out the NAF for that. And then Oklahoma Bowl. We have 33 signed up.
33 already signed up, if you include Scott and I, because I think Vin said he's going to help run it again, so we can play.
Let's not count us. Let's just try to get to 50.
Yeah.
That way there's 48 people show up in the meeting, you get to play.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
That would be great. Wizards is really excited that we're having a bunch of people once again. And I don't know, dude.
There's some Dallas guys that Tim was saying that were, I guess, intimidated in going to the first tournament.
Really?
It's just like, yeah, but it's so much fun, and you're going to get a lot of cool stuff. Just for the fact that if you've never been to a tournament, and you can come, you get dice, kickoff die, ball, marker, the tokens, and entry to possibly win a painted team.
Some of the new guys from the league were talking about it, and they were also saying, like, never been. I don't, 4 games seems like a lot, but 3, what I told them is bring one buddy, and then after 3 rounds, if you want to drop, which you won't, because once you get in that environment.
Oh, yeah.
But if you drop as a pair, it doesn't hurt anybody as well.
Yeah.
So don't forget that, and don't be intimidated, because even if, I'm not joking, as a guy who played Snotlings and Ogres at Chaos Cup the last 2 years, yes, I would love to be on the top table, but the stress level at those top tables is so high. The back half of the group where the lower tables are, they're having so much fun and laughing. And you're talking to everybody, you're griping about your rolls, you're laughing, you talk to the guy. Hey,
I'm complaining that I'm not playing any stunty teams, and all I see are Chaos Pack teams and Orcs.
But I'm saying the environment is totally different. Like at Wizards, you see people get up and go, hey, I'm going to go get a drink. You want something, buddy? And they're like, yeah, I'll take this. And I mean, don't be intimidated. Come and just have fun.
And it really, you're saying,
and have no expectations.
There's different cliques inside of it, because you'll have the top table clique who are worrying about the records and wanting to do well. Pressure. They're kind of quiet. Mm-hmm. The low end who are just there for fun. Doesn't matter anymore. They're just meeting people, hanging out, and doing it. You've got people who are going for specific awards. So after a few rounds, you're like, oh, I can get most touchdowns or most casualties. So you're trying for that. You got people who are like, you just don't care at all about anything and just there for fun. Mm-hmm. It is what you make of it, just like Blood Bowl itself. You'll have a great time.
Yeah. But, so don't be intimidated. Come on out, enjoy the. Come out, play a few games with your friends, and you might win some of the raffles.
Yeah.
2 painted teams.
Trust me, this is going to be a ton. There's 2 painted teams, at least
4 sets of dice.
I think 3 or 4 unpainted teams.
Custom chits. Lots of miniatures.
We should have cases from KR Multi-Case. We should have other trays. I don't know, just so much stuff. So many miniatures.
Yeah, great stuff. Don't be intimidated. Don't be scared. Come try it out. I promise you will have a good time, especially if you're a new guy.
No money back guarantee, though.
No money.
You're keeping your money.
No, but I promise you'll have a good time.
Yes. Otherwise, Scott will kiss you on the mouth.
Wow. Scott Hess will kiss you on the mouth. That's what Steve just said.
I don't think I said that. Someone named Scott. I don't care who it is, because I'm not named Scott.
And more than anything, I'm sure we're going to do something. It's me and Drew's ginger brother birthday.
Should be going to Hideaway, I believe.
On Saturday. Yeah. Ginger Brothers. Going to have some birthday.
Pizza.
Yeah, we're like prime brothers. He's going to turn 41. I'm going to turn 43. Both prime numbers. Eat it.
That is true.
During a prime year.
Drew Prime. Scott Prime. Prime time.
Good times. All right. We will hopefully see you at Oklahoma Bowl. Sign up so we can break some records and we can brag to those people up north. That's what we want to do.
Yes, it is.
It
really is.
Since we're kind of maybe like the only semi-consistent Blood Bowl podcast anymore. Ooh, take that in your face, everybody. Boom. We will be back with some shout-outs.
I'm Dirk Cooper, and I'd like to invite you to listen to my new podcast, The Dirk Side. It's very brief tactics and observations that are designed to motivate you, fire up your creativity, and put you in the right state of mind to go kick some ass. Metaphorically speaking, of course. The Dirk site is available on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and anywhere else that matters for that fact. Or you can visit my site, sexynetworking.com. Thanks to the guys at Both Down for the plug, and, as always, dream hard.
Well, now that the train has passed, we'll go ahead and get some shout-outs in.
Shout-outs.
Okay. Yeah, we live next to a train track, so we actually had to...
Shout-outs! There you go. I really didn't feel like doing that, but I mustered it up.
I was going to let you not. It's fine.
I think some people actually like it, surprisingly. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. Speaking of mustard it out, I tried the new KFC Georgia Gold, based on the recommendation of Enzo and...
the pro wrestlers?
Yeah.
Big Cass and Enzo?
Big Cass and Enzo.
Okay.
Based on their recommendation. Seeing it on multiple pay-per-views now.
Okay. And?
It's okay.
Eh?
It's weird, kind of. A little more mustardy than honey. And then they put pickles on it.
Okay.
And it's like the other one where it's kind of juicy.
Okay. So, from what I read in the review over it, it's like the old Memphis barbecue, spicy barbecue that we got.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And remember how we both, it didn't sit well with us?
Yeah.
That's because I think it's an oil-based sauce.
Oh.
And this one is too. So what you're going to look forward to is some fun in the bathroom.
That already hit.
Oh,
Not
okay.
in the bathroom, but it kind of, as I was coming back home and I was getting ready for the podcast, I felt my stomach just kind of turn a little bit.
Yeah.
But it didn't have the heat like the last one did, so it didn't destroy me.
Okay. So what I would recommend to you, if you feel gassy, go sit on the potty before you drop anything.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to be cleaning out your shorts.
Don't trust the farts.
Right.
Gotcha. Keeping it classy.
Yep. All right.
So shout out to Enzo and Cass.
Our friends, Enzo and Cass from the WWE.
So tangentially, interestingly enough, I know another podcaster who lives next door to AJ Styles. Maybe not directly next door, but like a couple doors down.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he got a new pinball machine, and he had a party to have people come over, and AJ Styles came over with his family and played. But AJ's more of a video game guy, because he's actually sold him some of his video games for AJ.
Huh. That's
So
cool.
they played Street Fighter too.
Awesome. So,
Knowledge about wrestling.
a shout out from the iTunes, and we really recommend that everybody go to iTunes, rate us, and leave a review, and we will read it out loud on the podcast.
And as always, if you have any questions, take a screen capture and send it to us.
Especially if you're in another country outside of the United States.
Yeah. And even some of the inside ones, I guess, took them a while because, again, Tim put one up and we read it last time. And he's like, I put that up months ago. It's like,
iTunes is weird.
Yeah.
All right, this one is by, I guess, Smittens? S-M-I-N-T-I-E-N-S.
Smintons.
Smittens. He did this on Valentine's Day this year. Ooh.
Because he loves us.
Yeah, he said, be mine, both down. And I was like, okay. How do you want us?
In his ear holes.
You go for something really weird.
That is how you hear a podcast. It goes in the holes of your ears.
You're right. He said, I've just recently discovered this podcast and couldn't be happier. The show makes for a great listen on any commute or while modeling or painting. Keep them coming. So I wonder if he's brand new to Blood Bowl. And if so, he can also follow up with a message and tell us if he uses cards or not.
That's true. That'd be a nice way to incorporate it.
Thank you for the review. He also gave us 5 stars because we're so awesome.
As he should.
Of course.
Even if you don't like us, give us 5 stars.
Well,
What's it to you?
that's
Doesn't matter.
that's what every podcast asks for.
Yeah, of course it is.
You listen to podcasts, they're like, rate us 5 stars.
Yeah,
To
we
help
didn't do
us
that for a
out.
long time, but it matters now, I guess.
Who else you got shout outs for?
Nobody specifically, since we just did one a while back. This is actually a pretty quick turnaround on podcasts. We might be doing even, well, with the tournament coming up, who knows, but...
Well, I still want to shout out, I think I did this last time, but it's still in my notes. Tim Walker, our super fan from Dallas, Texas, he's still going through the old episodes, and he's telling me about this and that, and I'm like, dude, I don't ever remember saying that. And he's like, yeah, you said this, and you did that, and it's kind of cool because, like, I can relive those memories without re-listening to all our old episodes, but he's going through all of them again, which is really awesome.
That's dedication. Or
That is...
insanity, one of the two. I wanted to give a shout out to the 4 Diamonds Cup. So just go check them out. They got a tournament coming up soon. We sent them some stuff. And they might be helping us get some stuff done.
Ooh.
Ken Hinchlife. I've been trading stuff to him. Was selling stuff to him, I guess. He's in Canada.
Okay.
He didn't know we did a podcast. So I was like, yeah, we do a podcast. And I sent him like a pen or a patch. He started listening, so he was enjoying it. And he's like, well, what episode should I go back to? I'm like, well, they're all good for different reasons, but definitely check out the tornado one.
Right.
Because that was weird.
That one is the weirdest episode.
Oh, yeah.
They're all fairly kind of evergreen in some aspects.
In a way, yeah. That's the
Since
whole
we
point
just
of
talk about fluff and stuff.
It's going to be less so now because we're talking about new stuff.
That's true.
But that's part of the game. We're still trying to keep it fluff friendly.
Shout out to Titan Books, I guess is the official name.
Yeah.
We didn't mention this in the opening segment because I kind of wanted to talk about it here. They're coming out with a new Blood Bowl comic. It's going to have like 5 different covers.
Yeah, that old trick.
That old trick of all these different covers. Some of them
It looks
really
a lot
cool.
better than the last one.
Yes.
It looks like you could read it.
I cannot remember the guys who are a part of it.
I can tell you that they dropped the ball, and Pete Nifton is not one of them.
Exactly. I
should
agree
be.
with you. I'm surprised that we didn't see a Pete Nifton cover or even like a sketch cover variant if they
Yeah.
were going to do variant covers. So I hope that maybe in the future, and maybe we don't even know it. Maybe there's some pinups or something in there.
Maybe.
So this is going to be kind of like the old man griping part, but I hope that this comic actually does come to our comic stores and it's not limited to like 3 copies. So when like 5 people from our league want a copy of Blood Bowl, it's not limited. But knowing how Games Workshop does everything else, I'm sure this is going to be limited. And then there's going to be people online
It's not being put out by Games Workshop, right?
No, I know that,
Okay.
but still. I'm already ready for people to get a copy at the store, walk outside, get in their car, take a picture of it, and then say, give me $15 for this if you want one.
But they're only 4. Yeah, but you're going to go to the comic store and buy it?
Yeah. Go find your own then. You don't have to read my post. And start a big crazy thread again, like in all the Blood Bowl communities. Because I'm sick of dice. I'm sick of everything being limited quantities. So whatever. So I'm sure this comic's going to have limited quantities.
I think the dwarf dice came back on the website.
That's fine.
But I do like the dice.
I want GW to be successful.
Yeah.
Just keep producing this stuff. Even if you do it in batches of 100. You sell 100, we're going to make 100 more. Mm-hmm. And when we sell that 100, we're going to make 100 more. And until somebody stops buying it. I don't know why you wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't talk to me about this.
We try, but they won't give you any creative control, I guess.
And everything from Forge World is like $400.
Yes.
And it takes 7 months to get here.
I
get it. We're halfway
It didn't take
across the
that
world.
long this time. The first time they lost the order, that's fine. The second time, it came pretty fast. I didn't order Vorog, though.
You didn't?
No.
Wow.
I can't. I just
You
don't
got
know
the
if
Zug,
I can,
though, right?
I got Zug. I don't know if I can pull the trigger on Vorog.
How much did Zug cost you? U.S. money.
I had a coupon, so it essentially came to about $25.
All right, how much would it cost without the coupon?
32 or something.
$32 plus shipping?
I think that's including shipping.
Okay.
It's conversion rate and
That is a lot for one model.
It really is.
And I am not, it's the right term, hobby modelist.
Yeah.
I don't want to put these things together.
No.
I would like it just to come in one piece, and then I get to glue it in the base.
Then I could actually put... Yeah, what am I going to do? Honestly, I got the refs and I got Zug. I'm not going to use any of those. I'm not going to put them together. I'm not going to get them painted. They're just staying in packages. So even as a collector that I am, I like steel and package. That's fine. I don't see the value of these going up to where I need to get it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm not at the point where I'm like, oh, I have to get Varog, otherwise his value is going to go up. Because I think eventually they're going to get through all these stupid issues, and any of these things you want, they'll be on the website, and you can buy them whenever you want. And eventually they're going to go on sale. Eventually,
you would hope so.
Yeah. And if not, fine. If I really want it later, I'll buy it or trade something for it.
The new dwarf team, when I first started seeing like pictures of them that we saw months ago, I was like, I don't know about them. I got to play against them, and I think they look really good.
I think they look really good. There is somebody...
They are a different style.
Yes.
And if you don't like the style, I get it. But they are different enough than all the other ones that makes you kind of like, for me, I'm like, I have 3 or 4 dwarf teams. Oh, I think I still want this one, even though I'll never use it.
Did you see the post online about the guy who cut the beards and fixed the legs?
Yes, he took if you don't know, the troll slayers are like in the air jumping and their beards are touching the ground. So that's where they touch their base.
Which I don't have a problem with because they're jumping and it's an action pose. It's cool.
Okay. I don't like the action poses, but we already know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some guy cut those beards off and somehow reformed the legs to make them like running.
And they look really good.
Yeah. Really good. The Zug model, though, looks like he comes in a ton of pieces.
He does.
And I don't really like pinning things, and it's just not for me.
No, we basically just hand them off to somebody and say, please.
I think we're just kind of old school in the fact that we are used to the old metal miniatures that if you had to put them together, it was like one part.
Yeah.
I mean,
A little dab of glue will
as
do
much as Impact is great, they have a lot of models that require like 3 or 4 pieces.
Or a hippo that you have to glue tiny, 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 tiny ears on.
Right. And that, I just go, okay, I don't need that hippo guy.
Yep.
And I move on. So, anyways, Zug model looks amazing. The Varag model looks really good too.
I'm not impressed by it.
I think it
looks okay. I'm also not a big orc guy, so...
Well, I'll start saying. I mean, if I didn't have a Varag, I would definitely want that one. But I already have the old 3rd edition one or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool. So, not a big deal.
No.
But keep producing this stuff for us. I know so many people that want that Dwarf Skaven field that they can't buy it. I know so many people that want these dwarf dice. Can't buy it.
And
honestly, nobody wants to go to Forge World. I mean,
no.
I get it. I get it from your standpoint, Games Workshop.
Or maybe Games Workshop, if it's really a company of yours, allow us to pick it up for free at Games Workshop Company.
Well, I mean, yeah, even that.
Figure out some way to get that to the Games Workshop shipping place and then put it into whatever.
Well, you even said that the Games Workshop shop here in Oklahoma City does not carry Blood Bowl stuff unless you special order it, correct?
Yeah, they're not going to carry Blood Bowl anymore. I don't think any of them are.
That is crazy.
They'll probably carry initial launch stuff, but they don't have room for it.
Well, they are tiny shops.
Yeah. If it's not a battle bunker. If they still do battle bunkers, they probably carry it because you have room to run games.
I gotcha.
I went there on Saturday, and it was just a regular Games Workshop store. It was packed. They have 3 tables to run games on, I think. They were completely booked. So it's not like what are they going to do? I mean, if you want Blood Bowl stuff, go to a local game store who can buy it. Or if you want to get it through Games Workshop, just pick it up and go somewhere else.
I got you.
Unfortunate, but the truth.
All right. Well, this is my shout out to Games Workshop. Don't let the comic be limited. And come on, guys. Get together now. You've had plenty of time to fix this. If you ask me. But maybe I don't know, since I'm not.
So speaking of grumpy old men,
Uh-huh.
I was in a vintage stock the other day.
Okay.
And for those who don't know, vintage stock is a store that has used stuff, like used DVDs, used games, used comics, stuff like that.
Right.
So I was looking at things, and I overheard a conversation.
You were looking at Pokemon cards, old Pokemon cards.
No.
My daughter is kicking me and my older daughter's butt in Pokemon.
As she should.
Yeah. Anyways.
So I heard one younger guy talk to another younger guy. He goes, yeah, that's why I like coming to this place. They always have, when you can't find a classic movie, you can come here and get it. Like Grumpy Old Men. I was like, Grumpy Old Men is not a classic movie in any sense. I'm not even saying that it came out a long time ago, so it's a classic movie. Fine. Yeah, it's been a long time since that movie came out. It's a good movie. It's not a great movie. That's not one you should be actively searching for. If you go to a store to buy Grumpy Old Men, who are you? Unless you just love Anne Margaret, which I can get. I think she in the first one.
Dude, I don't remember. I've actually watched that movie.
Wow.
I have not seen the second one.
Yeah.
But I don't remember. I couldn't even tell you who Anne Margaret is. I mean, once you show me a picture of her, I'll go okay.
Watch Bye Bye Birdie.
She has a sexy old lady?
She's just a sexy woman. Period.
Anne Margaret.
It doesn't matter how old she was.
Well, Helen Mirren was, too.
Yeah. No. Bye Bye Birdie, Anne Margaret, she was in a bunch of the Elvis movies. She was in Flintstones as Anne Margaret. Anyways. So this doesn't matter. Any other shout-outs?
No, I don't. I'm looking up Anne Margaret right now. You think she's sexy?
What picture are you looking at?
I'm just looking, dude. She's kind of a redhead.
Yeah, she's a redhead.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah, she's kind of sexy. I get it. Ooh, young Anne Margaret. Whoa, wow.
That's what I'm saying.
Holy moly.
Bye Bye Birdie was her first film, and I think I want to say she was 18, so I don't sound creepy, but...
Oh, God. Okay, Anne Margaret. All right, you win.
Okay. And on that note...
Well, we're going to give our final shout out to Anne Margaret. And anyways, sign up for Oklahoma Bowl. We will see you in a few weeks.
You can follow Both Down on Twitter at Both Down. You can follow Scott at Fat Finley, FATFINLEY, and Steve at Kilowog2814. If you want to know if your team name is Both Down approved, send a tweet to @BDapproved. If you'd like to email them, the email address is bothdownpodcasts@gmail.com. Or for more information, you can visit them at bothdown.com or at facebook.com/bothdown.
Do you have bad credit? Do you need good credit? Do you need a death roller? Come to Honest Rocks. Honest Rock has death rollers that are affordable. We don't use shut-off devices if you don't make your payments. That's because Honest Rock keeps your family right here on premises while you play your Blood Bowl game. Never worry again about being behind on your payments because remember, Honest Rock has your family. Daddy! Honest Rock is making commercial. Honest Rock wants you to come on down to the crossroads of hate and pain today.